Alright. This is going to be a video on Camazotz and how to use him effectively in game. There's also plenty of ways to do Camazotz. You can go like full damage, or if you're playing in jungle you can't really do it because you gotta go Boombas, you can't really start Trans. Trans is like a really boost for Camazotz because his damage scaling is just so high. So when you're playing a game like Clash, Arena, anything but Conquest really, you could really build Transcendence. I would suggest, if you're building Transcendence, you could go your 1 first. This is just so you can wave clear and get them stacks going, but you don't really need to. I'd suggest leveling your 1 first if you're playing like solo in Conquest or something like that, or like 1v1s or something. I wouldn't suggest leveling it because your 2 just does a ridiculous amount of damage, 420, and if you level that over your ult as well, it's just ridiculous damage. I'd suggest leveling your ult once until he gets the patch where his ult gets a little bit of a buff, because it has nowhere near enough time to actually hit all 3 easily. It's really struggled to do that. So I suggest leveling your 1 first, then your square, then your circle, and then your X again, and then your ult obviously, and then just spam out your X, nothing else. I'd suggest spam out your square after that, and then start leveling your ult, because you don't really need to level your circle over your ult. I guess like the only things you really want to level over your ult is your X and square, because they do so much damage, and then you just level up your circle last. So there's a build like this. You could build that. That's for max damage. So when you get all the stacks, you're going to do a ridiculous amount of damage. With Relic wise, I'd suggest you're really squishy, because look at this leap. Like, it's not really a really good leap, is it? So it's really hard to get away, and also his ult doesn't get you out of sticky situations where like you're in an Odin cage or anything, because they haven't implemented that into the game yet. So I suggest getting like maybe Sanctuary, Beads, the really top thing. I wouldn't suggest getting Wrath. His clear's pretty decent. So I suggest, yeah, Beads, Aegis, maybe Curse, because you'll play against a lot of Camazotz lately because he's a new god, obviously. Yeah, I wouldn't really. Obviously, if it's solo, you get like Teleport. Yeah, it's up to you, but you can use your circle aggressively. If you think you can burst someone down really quick, and you can use your circle to finish them, you can also do that. But I suggest you save your circle, because if you are against an Odin, you can actually use your circle to jump out of the cage. But if you want to go aggressive on an Odin, you can get Phantom, which is optional. It saves your whole team too. Also, if you have squishies on your team, which is really good, because you keep you're saving your team also. There's one big thing with Camazotz. No one ever uses his kit properly. All I see people online is going his X to get the slow, obviously, to secure his square, and then they start doing basics or whatever, and do a leap, whatever. I suggest you not doing this, because as you see on his square, he has a buff. So you want to get that buff on straight away before you do your X, because if you do your square to get the buff, and then you do your X, it's going to do so much more damage than it actually does. As you see here, and it does 536, and then if you use your square, it do much more, like 40 physical power. So that's going to do more. So 476. It's a little bit, but it comes a long way when you're playing, because it also affects your circle as well. It doesn't just affect your X. It affects your ult, it affects your circle. It's just an overall physical damage buff. So you want to always hit your square first, and then do your whole kit. Because look at that, that's like 1,100, 1,500 there, just in that. But if you did the opposite way around, it wouldn't be as much. You get that much more clear burst. Yeah, that's the one build. But if you don't want to go Transcendence because you're jungling or something, you could always go Defense if you want to. If you need that defense, if they're doing a lot of damage, it's you just have a situation item last. If you think if they got heals, if they got magical burst, if they've got a lot of basic attack guards, it's all situation. This last time you could even go a winged blade for slows if they've got a lot of slows. And if you really want to be like, I thought recently it'd be a good idea to get frostbound, because when you're on a tank and they can't have no escape, that's a really good item, because you can stick to them and they just can't get away from you. You're just doing all that damage, and sometimes like your burst is not enough, and sometimes you need to do like about 4 basics to kill them. So that's like easy stick to them. Yeah, I think that covers most of it. So I see some people buying lifesteal. I'd suggest not doing this, because his kit is just so much lifesteal. You don't need any lifesteal. Like if you just went to if you just constantly kept your passive up, because you're doing this in every camp, your lifesteal is going to be, look at that, it's just insane lifesteal. Your passive, and you got lifesteal out of your X and your circle, which just, you don't need it really. You don't really need it. If I could show you here, your circle is stacks. So how many minions are actually there is how much heal of the heal you will get. So it's like 100 on 1 minion, but if I do it on 3, you just get a considerable amount more of heal. As I'll show you here, hold on. I'll take some damage from Fire Giant, and I'll leap on a load of minions, and you'll see how much actual heal you will actually get. You just take so much more heal. It's unbelievable. Like if you head up the swordsmen with the hunters, the archers, when you've got a line of minions, if you take them all the way to the back and group them all up, and then you jump on them. If you have, I just fucking healed myself. I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, if you had them up and jump on them with your circle, if you have low health, you'll probably just go straight to full health if you've got it fully leveled. It does so much. It does so much healing. That is just, I mean, of 100, just from one minion, one minion, one god. Also, it does it with gods as well, not just minions. Like if you've got like load of gods there, and you jump on them. Like when you're in a sticky situation where all the gods are on you, and you have to get away, but you can't. You jump in the center of them all and just get all your high health back. I've done it once. It's really good. Yeah, if you jump here, you get so much life. Look at that life still. And obviously your X is obviously life still. It comes back to you in a second, or not. Yeah, it's just meant to come back to you. It does take damage and slow, and then it comes back to you and heals you. So yeah, I think I've covered everything on Camazotz. Some people going basic attack. I suggest not doing that either. It's he's 100% ability based. Go through that with the scaling. Right, leave him alone. Let's see. Yeah. Also, his ult. I don't level it because it's just terrible. My opinion, he's terrible. Doesn't help anything. Well, I think that I've covered everything. I hope you get your Camazotz 10 as fast as you can. That's what I'm going for right now. I'm trying to get him as high as I can. I'm trying to get into the leaderboards of #1 with level 10, but probably not going to happen because I'm not amazing. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.